Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho, aka Sniper98, and welcome to another series that decided to start up on my channel. And this goes out to any one of my subs who are either small or big or hardcore anime fans. This series will be all about anime reviews, cause I kind of had this idea in the back of my head, just wondering, sometime I really want to start up some series talking about like anime reviews or something like that, because I used to watch a lot of anime back in the day. So I mean, why the hell not should we talk about it? So this first episode we're going to be talking about Sword Art Online, because I was just like, well, first of all, I'm really lacking in watching anime these days. I just haven't had the time for them, and I kind of want to get back into the groove of watching more anime and whatnot. So for now, because the only recent anime that I've actually watched and finished, technically speaking, was Sword Art Online. So I was like, hell, we'll just start with that one, and it seems to be pretty well received universally. I mean, it seems that no one really hates it outright. So without further ado, let's get started. For this episode, I've got here with me my good friend Chase. We'll just call him that, and just keep in mind that it may not be every episode that I have someone else talking with me. Oftentimes there will be episodes where I'll just be talking by myself and reviewing those animes by myself. But this time, for this first episode, I decided to bring along my friend here because we all had time. So, hey Chase, why don't you give yourself an introduction if you have any?
Introduction-wise, probably not, because usually when you do videos, you're the one who probably leads them. So
No.
that was quite the lengthy intro.
Well, you
Just
do
saying,
realize this is the first time we're doing something like. This is my first time doing something like this. So,
yeah, same here. I've
anyways,
never actually did like a one-on-one commentary thing with like reviewing an anime. Really, I haven't. It's not been something I've always longed for, but why not
let
give it a
me
shot?
ask you, what are you doing right now?
Um, if you can hear a lot of bullet sounds, I'm playing Common Arms because I haven't played it in a long time. And
Good job, multitasking for the win, asshole.
hey, I can hear you fine. I still know what you're talking about, and I can at least
Right.
think.
Anyways, so let's actually get back to the matter at hand, and that's about Sword Art Online. So,
Yep.
anyways, Chase here is a huge fan of Sword Art Online. Me, I'm not really so. I'm just more of an impartial viewer. People have been talking about it, so I was like, okay, might as well give it a shot, and I ended up watching it straight through because I thought, it's pretty good. Usually my outlook on animes is not really that critical, if you know what I mean. There's not very many animes that I actually outright hate, unless it's something like mainstream related, but we won't
Yeah.
go there. So you'll get the sense that my
Yeah,
channel
I
is
know.
very anti-mainstream. Let me just go ahead and take a sip of Mountain Dew Voltage because I
Sure.
seem to be choking my own spit. My
Yeah.
God.
I feel you. All right, now let's actually get into the discussion of the anime.
Yes, why don't you go ahead and lead us, Chase? Because you seem to be more of a Sao expert than I am.
Sure. Let me Well, I'll give you my overview. Sword Art Online is, in a sense, I really thought it was just like a normal anime at first, and because like I really didn't get emotional until I saw the love scene between Asuna and Kirito.
Oh, actually, what we should do is start with the general overview of what the anime is about, because maybe there are people who don't know what's about. I'll take care of that. So
My
for those you
definition of an overview is gonna take forever. Just like,
well, it's okay. I mean, this is not like some sort of formal commentary or whatever, so we can do whatever the hell we want.
yeah, true that.
So anyways, for those of you guys who have not yet watched Sword Art Online, which if you haven't, then good on you, because Sword Art Online is basically becoming as mainstream as you can get without actually becoming mainstream. If you get what I mean, I don't mean
Yeah, I
it in a
know.
bad way, but it could get there. It could get there with time. Anyways, as for a quick summary of Sword Art Online is basically an anime in which this boy named who's simply known as Kirito. He has a real name, but I forgot what it was because they don't really dwell on his real name much. The name he uses for most of the series is Kirito. Kirito gets into a world or wow, I suck at commentary. So let's back up a few
Hey, don't
steps
worry,
here.
we
Let's
all
back
do.
up a few steps. The setting and the plot of Sword Art Online is set in the near future, where video games have progressed to the point where there are no longer MMORPGs, but VMMORPGs, which is just virtual online realities. It's basically the whole Matrix thing. Like you put on like a device in the game. They call it the Nerve Gear. I'm pretty sure it's a reference to Neon Evangelion. I think. I'm not too positive on it, but I think it's a reference to Neon Evangelion. But they put on this thing called the Nerve Gear. It's like a helmet kind of thing, like a visor thing that covers your eyes, and it lets you, hop onto the internet and get on with your friends or on the internet to play virtual online video games. And that's what this whole Sword Art Online premise is all about. Kirito jumps into this one virtual reality called Sword Art Online, which is what the anime is based on, or the name takes its name from, and he is one of the beta testers for, or he was one of the beta testers for this game called Sword Art Online. And the beginning of the story takes place when Sword Art Online actually is released for public beta, I believe. So they get on, and around like, how many people jumped on there? Like 30,000, around that number.
10,000.
10,000, something like that.
Yeah, it was 10,000.
So about 10,000 people jump on Sword Art Online when it first releases for public beta, or not really public beta, but just open to the public now. And they have fun. He meets friends along the way, and then soon it becomes apparent that they are being trapped inside Sword Art Online because the creator of SAO is using this as an experiment of sorts, and basically Kirito and his friends that he makes along the way need to try to bust out of it. And with that come lots of plot twists and stuff like that. So that's the whole overview of it without giving away too much detail. And
Nice, took 5 minutes.
yeah, exactly. But as you guys probably know, this is a review, so there will be spoilers. So if you haven't watched it and you don't want to get spoiled, please click away from this video now.
Seriously.
I
But
know.
I like your introduction, because I like how you basically explain the first minute and then you see a lot of shit happen.
I mean, that's basically the most general way you can get away with anything. Oh, here's a quick summary. Shit happens. Okay.
True. Seriously. So there's this guy in some game and shit happens. Yeah, there we go.
All right, and he kicks a lot of ass along with it. Who doesn't like ass kicking, right? So, general impressions. At first, when I first started watching Sword Art Online, I was like, yeah, we've seen this before. This is like another Dot Hack ripoff. If you guys don't know,
yeah.
Dot Hack is another anime series where it takes the same concept of people playing virtual online reality video games. It's kind of like the same premise, but obviously SAO is not related to Dot Hack. Not in the remotest sense, except for the whole you're playing like the anime is based on this virtual reality kind of thing. Except for that, they're basically not related.
Yep.
So as for my general first impressions, yeah, I thought that hey, this is just another Dot Hack ripoff. So I wasn't really expecting it to become of much, but let me just put this out of the way first. It doesn't take very much to impress me, but my expectations of what if I find an anime impresses me, my expectations of it jump really high.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. It's like,
unbelievably high. You have no idea. If I feel that an anime is not very good, then either I stop watching it, or if I force myself to go through with it, I'm just gonna be like, well, okay.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just watching this because I'm bored and I have nothing better to do. Her. And then pretty soon I finish it, so I can tell people, oh hey, watch this. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time. But Sword Art Online wasn't like that. It did prove to me that hey, it's not just another Dot Hack ripoff, and it is kind of following its own thing. And So yeah, Chase, why don't you tell us what your most memorable moment in SAO was? It
Oh
can be from any
yeah,
season. It
dude,
can
it
be from
has
any
to be the
season.
Beast.
Hmm?
The level 76 boss, whatever, level 74.
Which one was
When he
that?
brings out the dual blades, that has got
Oh,
to be.
okay. Yeah, I see. The duel. The funny thing about it is that when I first saw that scene, I wasn't very impressed by it because I was like, dual wielding. I mean, come on, you're in a video game. You can do that. Like,
I
who
know.
can't do in a video game? Who can't dual wield? I mean, we're talking about Japan here. Basically, everyone and their fucking mother
I
knows how to
know.
dual wield. But the significance of that actually took a few episodes to sink in because it had to, I had to kind of put aside my own kind of, preset expectation, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
of my experience of watching animes in the past and my own kind of imagination of what things should be,
Mhm.
if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And so it kind of, like I said, it took a few episodes or a few weeks for that really to sink in, just to realize, for me to realize just how important that scene was, because like they said, dual wielding is a very isn't it unique to
It's a unique
Kirito?
skill.
Yeah, it's a unique skill only to Kirito. So Kirito is the only one in the entire game who knows how to dual wield.
And not only that, like I've actually read up on it. It's apparently it's a skill given to those with the quickest reaction time.
Exactly. So that kind of,
It's a
do they mention that explicitly in the anime? I think they do, right?
did they?
I'm pretty sure they
They
do.
did. Like in another.
Doesn't the head of the guild, I forgot what the guild name
Yeah.
was.
Keep the yeah.
Yeah, Heathcliff mentions that, doesn't he? Like that
Yeah, he
skill is
does.
given to the person with the fastest reaction time. So you by that point I kind of understood that, yeah, Kirito's dual blades were pretty goddamn important. Then I was like, okay, sure, yeah, he's dual wielding. I mean, so what? Anyone can do that, right? But like I said, I keep repeating this, but it took me some time. It's a lot more for those of you guys who had the same reaction as I did and don't really see the significance of that event. Try to put aside like any conception that you have of dual wielding, and just try to immerse yourself into the world of SAO and realize that if you're the only one who has the ability to dual wield swords, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, I know.
Not only do you look like a badass, but also it's actually much more practical too. Of course, in real life, it's not practical dual wielding two swords at the same time because you can only control so much of your own body. But it's
Seriously,
a
it's
video
ridiculous.
game. You can do anything in a video game, so you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about that. So
But the fact that it's like because you've been stuck in that game for so long, and the fact that like when he said like carry that whatever wooden stick that was, when he was fighting with when he was with Sugu,
yeah,
and he's like, wow, it feels
yeah.
almost lighter. I'm like,
After they got out of SAO.
yeah,
Well, the thing about it is that what if that's a virtual reality. So whatever skills he may have learned there, whether it be fighting or whatnot, he'll carry that over with him into the real world. To me, that's not very surprising.
yeah,
Because if think about it, it's like muscle memory, except it's
hmm
in your mind. Your body in real life might not be able to handle it, but at least you'll know how exactly to do it, and then you can
hmm
practice so you can try to replicate what you did in virtual reality in reality. So I don't know that to me that concept of him trying to imitate what he did in SAO isn't that surprising.
it isn't. But like obviously obviously it was surprised and all. I mean, I think we expected that to come. Like we expected him to be surprised and all. So
Surprised by what?
like, so I think we expected him to be surprised that he couldn't like he was still in that like zone where he was in SAO, but he was actually in real life and he was recovering from that.
Well,
I think we expect it's like a it's like
I think
a dramatic irony, if we will, because we kind of expected that thing to happen.
what that he's like, oh shit,
Yeah,
I'm in real
oh
life
shit,
now.
I can't do
But
this.
in the scene where he was dueling Sugu in the kendo match,
Uh huh.
Sugu was like, dude, what are you doing? But then he was all like, don't worry, like this is what I'm used to. So he knows that implies that he knows that this is real life, and what he's doing in real life in his kendo match against Sugu, um was probably not going to work, but he's
Mhm.
trying anyway because that's what he's used to.
Yeah.
So that to me that's not very surprising, but it's still important to note.
True. Yeah, I agree. Well, is that your most memorable? I mean,
No,
or
my
favorite
most
scene?
memorable I'd have to, you know, my most memorable would have to be God, the first one that pops into my mind. I'm not too sure if this is really my most memorable or not, but the one that really pops into my mind, like if I think of SAO, like any memorable moment, would have to be in a GGO, where Sugu in as what's Sugu's in-game name?
Lifa.
Lifa, yeah, Lifa and well Kirito, same name.
Mhm.
When on they were traveling to that one city surrounded by a moat on the bridge. I forgot what the city's name was
Yeah.
called, but you know what I'm talking about, right? They're getting chased by magicians of some random guild, and then they're on the bridge and need to hold out against them.
Mhm.
The part where Kirito actually turns into that, uses the illusion magic to turn himself into that dog god or whatever
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. The guy.
That
Yeah.
the boss that he defeated himself back in
Yeah.
SAO. That was the most memorable.
Oh, that's actually a good choice. Yeah, I like
Because
that.
the thing about it though is that I've always wondered that's supposed to be illusion magic. So if that's supposed to be illusionary magic, why is he able to use it as a physical ability? That's my
Yeah, I
question.
know. I
I
kind of
never
question that as
understood
well.
that.
Like,
Like Leafa said specifically that the elf race that he chose was specifically meant for or they used like what illusion magic to like for deceiving like
mhm.
deceit and trickery or something like that, or something
Yeah,
along those lines. Like it was, Leafa said it was supposed to be some sort of illusionary magic, but instead Kirito turns into like some badass fucking OP physical ability that just runs around slapping bitches left and right and
yeah.
fucking
I,
chewing
I,
their
I,
goddamn heads off.
yeah. I guess he was probably advanced enough for whatever reason. He was probably advanced enough so that he could actually use his illusion magic as like his own physical strength. That's what I'm probably thinking,
I
but
guess
it's
that
hard to say.
does hold a little bit of validity because GGO was running on the same servers as SAO,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the stats basically carried over if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. But that point is still in my mind too early for him to be able to accrue so much experience that he would actually be able to use magic to that extent. So that's one of the things that I've never really been able to like account for. Like how
Yeah.
does he turn illusionary magic or what magic that was intentionally or once intended for just illusionary magic and turn into some sort of fucking physical ability? That's something that they have yet to explain. Maybe they've already explained it, maybe I just haven't caught on to it, but I don't know. I just feel like.
Well, I do have to say though, that scene though was pretty good. I mean,
Hmm.
although it didn't seem logical, it was still a pretty good scene.
It was but yeah, I suppose. In terms of
Yeah.
action, though, in terms of action, I'd have to say that the Kirito's dual wield scene was more action packed, but
True. True.
um, I don't know that the illusion magic scene is the one that pops more into my mind.
Agreed.
So what did you like about Sword Art Online?
Um. Well, let's see. Well, he encounters a lot of girls and all that crap, and he helps them do stuff.
Yes, there is no way we cannot talk about
It's
SAO
it's
without talking
reminiscent
about
of
his harem.
freaking what's it called? A freaking I don't know what's that called. It's like a guy always surrounded by a lot of girls or something.
Harem animes.
Yeah, exactly. It's reminiscent
But
of
the
that,
thing
even
is,
though
the
they're trying to
the
make it
reason
serious.
why I tolerated SAO in terms of his harem aspect is that the guy is actually not fucking dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
For once, For once, we actually have a love story in anime that the guy and the girl actually acknowledge each one's love for each other and actually pursue it. Oh my god, there is just fucking anime. Dude, there's this joke online that the recipe for anime is just love story. You have one girl going after a clueless guy, or thousands of girls going after one clueless guy, just like an infinite Strauss that just amounts to what the fuck? Like, are you fucking kidding me? How dumb can this bitch get? The guy, that is, not the girl, but the guy. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I know. It's
This
like
is so
mind
fucking
fuck,
stupid.
right? So mind
It's
fuck.
unbelievable. How many
Yeah.
animes do that? Oh my
Yeah.
god, it makes me want to rip my hair out. But SAO was good in that respect, that for once, for fucking once, those two actually got married together. You know, Chase, don't lie to me, you remember the sex scene. Or the implied sex scene.
They really did have sex.
Yeah,
but
I know,
it
they
was
did.
written
They
in the
did.
script.
There's no running around it. I mean, hell, they showed Asuna fucking naked in bed.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
That's just a dead giveaway. I mean, we already knew what was gonna happen, but you know, maybe it could have been. There was a chance that it could go south. There was a chance that it
agree.
didn't have to happen, but they went through with it, and that's why I admire. These people actually made a legit love story, because I watched one guy talk about movies on YouTube, not about anime, but like movies that he liked to watch. And one of the things that I remember him saying, I forgot who it was, but one of the things I remember him saying was that he likes sex scenes because it advances the plot. That's what happened. What? It's true.
In a way, I guess.
For Sword Art
but-
Online, it did. I believe that it did.
But there was
Because
only one scene.
what do you mean for one scene?
That was the
But
probably
they got
the only,
they got
like,
fucking
implied.
married, dude. Did they get married before or after that scene? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but seriously, I really do believe that like legit sex scenes, either they show it or they show it off or they imply it and don't actually show it on cam like SAO.
Yeah.
That I really do think that they do advance the plot, because think about it, if they didn't get married, what would they think of what was the fucking girl's name? I keep forgetting these things. It's been too long since I last watched.
Don't worry,
this
I
anime.
haven't watched. Well, I haven't like heard in a long time too.
God, we're gonna have to search up these things like by hand.
Yeah.
But anyways, let me go ahead and search that. We need to have names. We're gonna look like fucking amateurs.
Yeah, I was like, we're talking about anime. We don't even know the main character.
We don't even know what we're talking about, and we're doing a review on this or a discussion on this. We're so pathetic.
Totally legit.
Oh god. Anyways, the girl's name was called
Well.
Yui. Yeah, Yui.
Oh, her. Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that girl. we so didn't totally forget about her, right?
Yeah.
Awkward moment. Anyways, so Yui, what would they think if they didn't have sex, they didn't have didn't get married? What would they think of Yui? They wouldn't treat her as a daughter. They would just treat her as another really, really close friend. They might have thought of her as a daughter, but not to the fullest extent. If you know, you guys see what I mean? Because they got married, you know, they were able to see Yui as their daughter.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no way around
I
that.
guess because like they've never really. I mean, because they're really young, right? And they've really never
So?
had a moment or something where they felt like a mother or a father, and they just wanted to like, you know, deal with.
No,
it like
I
to
don't
have
think
family.
it's that simple. Because think about it, you're stuck in a virtual reality for what? By that time it was like 2 years or so.
Yeah.
You're stuck in a virtual reality, and you know that if you die, there's no coming that you actually die in real life, and that was the case. If you died
Yeah.
in SAO, you die for real in real life. So with that kind of mentality, you know you have to accept the reality that if you die here, you will never come back. You will never be able to return to your normal life.
Like might
So
as well just like live
no,
your
listen to me.
like
hear
Yeah,
me out
make
for a little bit. Hear me out for a little bit, Chase. They, because of that pressure, because of that life or death situation, their minds matured much faster than they might have otherwise would have.
yeah.
Because if you're put in a situation where you're under a lot of pressure, you're either gonna break or you're going to adapt to it and be able to survive. I know I sound like some sort of fucking Darwinist, but that's what
Hey, it's
that's
all
what
good, don't worry.
happens. That's what happens if you're put in under if you're put under a a tough situation that is not temporary, that is either permanent or long lasting, and you know
Mhm.
you need to either stick through it to the very end or just give up somehow along the way.
Mhm.
You're going to die, or in Kirito's case, you're going to die or you're going to mature a lot. Because of course, living under the constant threat of death is always going to force your mind to mature in ways more than one.
Seriously,
So
yeah, because you have to actually think for yourself now.
exactly. And now with when Kirito met Asuna and their relationship developed, he considers her wife now.
Yeah, I
So
know.
to
Even at the
him, to
scene,
them,
but
to both of them actually, they consider their responsibilities as wife and husband like legit.
yeah.
So I don't know about the whole, oh, we want to become mothers and fathers just for the sake of that. I don't know exactly what you were trying to get at, but to me that sounded like, oh, we want to try being mother and daughter for a day. I don't think that was the case, dude. I really do think that, of course, no one knows this, but obviously, well, actually, we do. It's not possible to actually have a baby inside SAO because that just doesn't make datical sense, if that's even a word. But they found
Sure.
Yui and they decided that hey, this is the next best thing we have to a child. Let's take her. You know.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So that's what I. That's the. I could argue that that's the best thing about SAO. If there's any one thing that SAO really was stood out about, it was that
Hmm.
that you finally have this anime. Of course, there's always going to be other anime that do model this whole boy meets girl, kind of like Clan, where boy meets girl, they fall in love and they actually get married and
Hmm.
go on their merry way. Well, in Clan that wasn't really the case, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, that is. But
Yeah.
Sword Art Online actually made it so that unlike most other animes where just frustrating, just get together already, you fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Like they freaking like I know like animes, they like to delay like the
They
freaking
just delay
development.
it all again and again and again it's like, at the very least, either you don't make them so fucking airheaded and at least they know that they love each other, or just make it so that he's in a position where he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, I know.
Instead of pulling a fucking Ichika from Infinite Stratus and and be completely oblivious that four girls want his dick.
Yeah, I know. That was like,
Yeah, if I said if four guys, or no, it was five girls want his dick. If I said five guys wanted his dick, then that'd be kind of awkward. But
what?
anyways,
Yeah,
so
I
we don't
know.
we don't get into that unless, of course, you're into that because you're a yaoi fan, which we're gonna burn. I swear, Protagonist and I are gonna go to the Anime Expo 2013 this coming summer, and we're gonna burn everything yaoi. Anyways,
Oh, you guys
we
are gonna be
plotted
like,
that. We plotted that last year's axe.
I know.
We plotted that last year's axe. We wanted to burn down. There were occasionally these girls carrying yaoi flags, and we just wanted to take out. We just wanted to make Molotov cocktails round the spot and just toss them at them. Oh my god, we were sickened that much. But anyways, yeah. So that's the most. I guess I'm looking for a good word here. Uh.
Too many words, man.
I guess you could say it's the best thing about Sword Art Online, that it actually, the love aspect, I can dig. I can actually dig that because it plays an integral part in throughout the entire essay. I think they did that pretty well. Of course, my view on how the execution of that is obviously very limited, and it could, my opinion on how well they executed this isn't necessarily professional, but I personally like the way they executed it. I didn't, or at the very least, you can say that I didn't have any problem with it. So there you go. What's your take on this whole thing, Chase?
Uh, I guess no. I guess it's one of the better if in terms of like love and romance and all that, I think it's one of the better ones because it's not all about love and romance all the time.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's not like they start off with that too. So it's like
Yeah.
you think it's like,
Do you
this anime is
think?
just gonna be all love and romance, but
Mhm.
and the fact that it's like a life-threatening thing to both of them, it makes it all the better because I mean, seriously, think about it. If that would have happened to you, would you freak out as well?
I would actually personally welcome it, because that's fucking awesome.
I
But
know, but like for a game, you'd be like,
I don't
it,
care. I'd welcome it, dude. Hell,
well,
fighting to the death in a virtual reality game, it's either I die and I take the entire world down with me, or I'm beating that shit.
true, very true.
But anyways, that's my own personal take on whatever the hell that is.
That's not, hey, I don't mind. I mean, personal opinions are welcome. Well, I say let's break you down like every episode.
Every episode?
Yeah, from one to
What?
the end. Well, I mean, we have like such a while to discuss this thing, and there's so much, to talk about.
Not really. Are you serious? We're gonna do everything?
Well, I don't know. I mean, personally, I don't know exactly every episode, but at least a lot that it could probably take up like over half the episodes.
Well, I don't know how long we've been talking.
I'd say a good half an hour.
Yeah, our Skype call says half an hour. Um,
Well, what else do you want to discuss about it then?
hmm. Oh, here's a good part. How about the combat system? How do you like the combat
Ooh,
system?
yeah, the combat system.
We're talking about a fucking game. We're not even talking
Yeah, I
about the
know.
combat
It's
system.
like
What are we, fucking
we're talking about
hypocrites?
like love and robots in this crap. Like what the hell?
We've been spending a good half hour looking at talking about love and sex. Holy shit!
Yeah, I know. It's like what?
We're both guys, so it's understandable. Oh my god!
Yeah, I know. We're not like ones who just like
And can you
talk about.
believe that that Sword Art Online, it was actually initially released back in '09? The light
Really?
novels anyway.
Oh, nice.
So it did take. It wasn't like an instant hit, but it did take some time for it to become popular.
I think I remember it was first wrote back in 2002. I'm not too sure.
What?
2002. That was like when it was just first start like writing, because it was like the idea that was preceded by another one of the other animes too. Like I forgot which one it's called, um it was started writing like way back then, and it didn't actually like the person whoever like started it didn't actually like make start like legitly writing it until like um 2005 I think.
Yeah. So it was just like they were just toying around with the idea, and but they didn't really actually go through with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anyways, so let's talk about the combat system. How do you like the combat system in SAO, Chase? Oh, and
I,
break it down if you can. Break it down between the combat system in SAO and Aincrad, or no, SAO and GGO.
Alpha.
Hold on, is GGO's third season? Okay, never mind. Fuck that. What's the what's the second world?
Alpha online.
Halo. I've been calling
ALO.
GGO this entire time. Fuck you, protagonist. Oh my god. Protagonist has been talking about SAO's GGO plotline when we were hanging out back in winter vacation. So that's still fucking stuck in my head. Oh my god, I hate you, protagonist. Anyways, so yeah, ALO, not GGO.
Obviously,
ALO.
it has to be Sword Art Online that has a way better combat system. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
RPG, right? So,
SAO's combat system does seem more polished and fluid. I think it's because that's the one they concentrated more on.
yeah, that's true. That is true.
Cause
And
you can see in the anime itself, they definitely took a long time kind of planning out the how the combat system works.
Yeah,
SAO.
I
But then again, you can also argue conversely that they didn't concentrate as much on ALO's combat system because most of the mechanics in SAO kind of carry over to ALO as well. I mean, they were on the same servers anyway, so.
yeah. But well, there is a difference though. Like there's a major difference. One being that SAO actually has like levels and stuff,
Hmm.
whereas like ALO doesn't depend on levels. It's just like pure skill and all that.
Mm.
But I think though they rushed ALO, so we didn't get a good sense of like actually how the game system works
Hmm.
because like it mostly focused on like getting to the world tree and all that. I mean, they didn't really discuss the game mechanics, whereas Sword Art Online, they actually had an episode where they were talking about all the game mechanics and all. And
Mm.
Sword Art Online is basically like you level up, you get like new skills as you level and all that,
Hmm.
and then you can acquire like crazy items and stuff. So
I like how they don't really go in depth into it, but they kind of hint at the whole expanse of the gameplay mechanics of SAO.
yeah, yeah.
Like they, it's specifically no magic unless it's like in the form of potions and whatnot. All the attacks are physical based.
Yeah, they're physical.
There's no magic. So in that sense, it really simplifies how the game runs because you don't have to worry about mana. You don't. Well, is there any mana gauge in that game? Probably not, right? It would make sense for people to have mana gauges if they don't have magical attacks. Hello? Okay, we seem to have a problem. Our friend Chase here is not responding, so we'll try to deal with that in just a bit.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so we're back. Our Skype call was kind of messed up for some reason. Apparently Chase couldn't hear me anymore, so we got that resolved by now. Anyways, so like I was saying, the combat system in SAO I really like because they don't give you the full details of it. They just leave it to your own imagination of how things could be so expansive. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I hear
true.
that. Do you know about the SAO game that they have out for PSP?
I heard is it it's like Infinity, right?
Yeah, it's called
Ed? No, not Infinity Edge.
Infinity Moment. It's for
Yeah, yeah, there you
PSP.
go.
And I suppose if you play that game, it gives you like a comprehensive overview of how SAO's gameplay really worked. And
Yeah,
I really like how they really kind of skirted the edge of the combat system of SAO. I know there's gonna be people who disagree with me that they wanted to see more in-depth coverage of SAO's gameplay mechanics, but
hmm
I feel that the way that they presented the gameplay mechanics for SAO was good. It wasn't perfect, but it was good because it kind of gave you a sense of what exactly you could do. Like you have so many skills to master or level up. You had lots of weapons to choose from. There's just so many things that that you knew from watching the anime that you could do.
Yeah,
There was nothing that said, "Oh, you can't do this" or "You can't do that."
yeah, that's true. Here's what I don't like about the actually the way they actually set it up though, because let's see. The first couple episodes like describing all the game and like how they just started in. And
Mhm.
then they're all like, level one and then like the level one bosses all hardened crap.
Mhm.
And then like a couple episodes later makes a huge jump all the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
to
it
like
makes a really big jump. Of
makes a
course,
really big
we
jump, and he's like
understand that
what
it's
really OP. He's like level 70 something by now, and I'm
yeah,
like,
especially from the episode of him meeting Kirito meeting who was that one girl with the red clothes, the idol girl.
oh what?
You know who I'm talking about?
No, she the blacksmith girl.
No. Silica. Silica.
Oh yeah, her.
When yeah, that episode when Kirito meets Silica, like fucking dude, that moment was also pretty boss.
I
if
get.
there's any one moment that was super boss, like it may not be, to me wasn't the most memorable. But it was definitely the most badass. Like if
My,
there's one defining badass moment, it was that one right there. Just
my,
walks up onto the bridge, 4 people attack him, and he doesn't do anything. Just stands there,
just stands there.
and
All I'm
his
doing,
health
like,
bar
100
just
damage.
goes like down, and it regens, down, regens, down, regens.
I know.
And he
It's
says,
like,
4 people dealing this amount of damage, yeah, it's not gonna do anything to me.
I know. It's like,
He could wear a troll
Guys, OP.
face, and he could just kick every.
He
Oh
could
my
kick
god!
some
If there
serious
was any, if there
ass.
was any badass moment, that would have been it.
That would have.
I felt like that scene was beautifully executed.
Yeah.
Because they
I know. It
used-
shows a little bit more of the game as well. Like.
I know,
Like,
because
show-
they actually explained the gameplay mechanics as well.
Yeah, he
That,
explained
oh,
his
you-
own stats as well,
Mhm.
which is something like probably a lot of us would want to see, like stats.
Exactly.
What? Well, actually, for me, it's not much of a big badass scene, but the part where he was with who was that? The blacksmith girl? What's her
Yeah.
name? Elizabeth?
Yeah,
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth.
Yeah. And then like they went out to obtain what's that Chris?
To get the crystal, yeah.
Yeah, that crystal, which is actually turns out to be the dragon's excrement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the part where actually dragon comes and just like flaps his wings like a huge like storm hails, and then he just gets the sword and just like swipes it out in one swoop. That part's like, I consider it to be like a badass thing. It's
Well,
just
that's
one
fucking
swoop.
cliche.
It's not like
That's
completely,
fucking
like,
cliche,
awesome-
dude.
What?
That's fucking cliche. Every anime does that. Or
Yeah,
not
they always
everyone,
implement
but
that sort of
there's
thing.
always
That's
some
one of those,
some
like,
sort of moment where this guy just goes up to like some super huge monster that's supposed to be really hard to defeat, and one way or another he makes himself look badass. You know.
it's so,
That to me, that
Mhm.
wasn't. It was it was pretty cool, but it's not definitely impressive because it's already been done like 1,000,000 times before.
Bleach. Reference.
I have not watched Bleach, so I cannot
Oh,
speak, but I can
well,
imagine it. I can
to those
imagine it.
Bleach fans, you'd understand.
Yeah, I can imagine it. Don't talk about it.
I mean, hey, I'm not one to say I watch Bleach myself. Okay, so I'm not one to hate, but I'm just saying that type of thing I've seen a lot in Bleach. Well, yeah, in a sense, though. I mean, there has been a lot of badass parts with Kirito. It's just sometimes I think they do a lot of talking,
Mhm.
so it kind of prolongs the story, which kind of seems like makes like it seems like a just get along with the action, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Like to me, I didn't really mind the time jump as much because you know, this is an anime. I mean, there's got to be production restrictions that need to go into this.
True.
I'm sure that well, I'm not really sure, but the visual novels probably explain the transition period between you know, the first couple episodes and, you know, a couple episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this still is still an anime. People need to still somehow plan it out so that it fits into a nice little 24 or 25 week anime season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can't really blame them for having that jump because maybe it was necessary. But yeah, it would have been nice to see the progression, or for some of us anyway.
Yeah, at least some, because it's been such a big jump, and
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just-
like at
it
least
goes from you're a fresh little beta tester, and now all of a sudden you're a fucking frontliner.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you do have
It's
a point
okay.
there. How about the combat system in ALO? What do you
ALO,
think about
AOL, lol.
that? ALO, yeah,
Yeah,
who
we're talking
uses that
about
shit
the
anymore?
messenger guys.
You got mail.
Oh my god, that thing has got so annoying.
I should just have a soundbite. Just play that. Just
play
beep,
it,
you
and
got
be like-
mail. You got mail. You got mail. Anyway, so what do you think of the combat system at ALO?
Actually, I don't think they focused on it too much.
Yeah,
Especially 'cause
it
they
was
want to
definitely
focus-
not an integral part of the plot line by that point.
Yeah,
It was
I
more
think
like
they
a-
I think like they didn't focus as much on the games on the like the combat system as much. I think they focused more on like the storyline and all.
Yeah. Though I will have
Which
to
in a
say,
sense, was I liked. I would have liked to see though, like a little bit more of the combat because
yeah, I know,
they
because
did more talking than
I know
fighting.
exactly. Combat is always fun to watch, unless it's just
Exactly.
horribly bad, of
Yeah.
course.
I
But
mean,
you, but the two most important, the two most, I guess you could say, entertaining scenes
mhm.
were his duel between the duel between Kirito and that one guild general, whatever his name was.
Oh
Do you
yeah, the
remember that?
fire.
What when they were trying to when they were coming to intervene between
Hmm.
the other two guilds, whatever they
Yeah.
were doing.
Hmm.
Yeah, so much detail. I know it's
No.
amazing. And that duel though was pretty good.
That yeah,
That
yeah,
was
that
pretty
was
good.
that was a really good tool. I had to admit, the first time I was like, "You fucking crazy, dude!"
Yeah, that
And
was pretty.
you know,
It's not the best that I've seen, but it's. I don't want to say it's up there too, but it's
it's
pretty
pretty
good.
nice,
Yeah, it's pretty
entertaining.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining.
Here's what I'll say though. When I actually rewatched it again, it
Mhm.
only lasted for 2.5 minutes, the fight itself.
Yeah.
And you're saying it's 2.5 minutes out of like a whole episode that's 20
But
minutes long.
still, if you have a really awesome scene, even if it lasts for 2.5 minutes or less, if it's memorable, then you'll feel like that short amount of time will have made up for whatever amount of talking that came up before.
True, true. Well, yeah.
But it would have been nice if they kind of they made the combat system in ALO more comprehensive and more part of the anime's plot and story itself. It would have been nice to
True.
see that.
But I guess because of like I think what I think what they did though was they maybe extended the storyline a little bit too long, and
Maybe.
then they made the combat like not as long, and because it was only like 13 episodes. I mean, you can't expect
Mm,
much.
maybe not.
Yeah, you can't expect a lot. But obviously I'd like to see
Like I would have liked to see them explain the magic like because we made such a huge jump from SAO to ALO,
yeah,
you know? Like we go from a primarily physical attack based
to like a
to
totally skill
some
and magic.
skill based or a combat based system to one that incorporates both physical and magical properties. Like
Mm-hmm.
how does that work? Like
Yeah.
I'd like to know. Of course, we can get some a few inklings from the actual the spells that they use in game, but it would have been nice to see like if there was any comprehensive spell system. I mean,
True,
I
true.
could I kind of got on to what kind of spell system they were using, but it would be nice if they could kind of use more
Explain it
of it
more.
so we could see more of what it could provide.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think they used to. I don't think they used a lot of their abilities. Like I mean, they talked. I mean, sure, they talked quite a bit of what
Yeah,
their
they did
each
talk
class is
about
capable of
stuff.
doing,
Yeah.
but I've never really seen all of them actually use them,
Because
and I
first of
haven't
all,
really seen.
they didn't even like show any all the species
Yeah, all
either,
the
right?
species, right? I would have loved to see like
Yeah,
each species
exactly.
like try to go out to the world tree and all fighting with all sorts of magic, and that would have been actually pretty cool.
That would have been, given the combat system in ALO, they could have made the final battle like a lot more badass
Yeah,
than the
that's
final
true.
battle. I mean, granted, the final battle in
Was really
ALO was pretty.
disturbing.
No, I wasn't
I
talking about
really
that.
hated that son of a bitch.
No, I wasn't talking about that.
Okay, but
The actual process up to the world tree, not what happens at the world tree.
true, 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 true.
That part was good, but it would have been much better. Like we're saying 1,000 times better if they actually got like some sort of conglomerate of forces, got
Yeah, yeah,
together
exactly.
and
Not
actually
just like
pushed up
two,
yeah,
like,
exactly. Not just two factions. I
and
mean,
not
that's
just
pretty cool in
Kirito trying to
itself, but
solo it.
yeah. I mean,
Mm,
no, I'm not
no.
talking about Kirito and how he tried to solo it by himself. I'm talking about the part where they actually got the reinforcements.
Yeah, that part was, yeah, that was nice. But I would have loved to see all the
Yeah,
species,
exactly.
and all their magic
Because
skills.
why bother? Like, why bother explaining the existence of other species when you're not
If
even
they're
gonna
fucking
introduce them?
inside, right? Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, what's the point?
yeah. It leaves us to question.
hmm What? Wait, we'll say that again.
It leaves us to question, like,
Yeah, exactly.
why
Like,
would they?
why do you put them there? I mean, it's nice that we know that they're
It's
there,
just like a
but
placeholder. I mean, there's really no point.
just like, oh hey, look, there are people
Other people
in this
besides
game.
you.
Just we won't talk about them though. We won't show them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
to
Oh,
me,
the final battle between Oberon and Kirito. That was that was pretty satisfying to me anyway, because I'm a sick bitch.
yeah, mean, I understand. You know,
Cause the most intriguing part of that was that you could actually turn up the pain gauge
oh, that part
up to
was, yeah,
10.
that part was, yeah.
That was awesome. That was fucking awesome.
Actually, no. My favorite part wasn't when he like sliced them up like crazy, and then he like stabbed his head. He threw up his head and stabbed it in the end.
Hmm.
And I was like, dude, yes, kill him.
Headshot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was a headshot.
Do the Duke Nukem headshot thing.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm horrible at mimicking voices, but dude, that part, the part where he turns up the pain gauge.
Oh, all the way to 0?
No, well, either it was all the way up to 10 or all the way down to 0.
Like, whatever one was the worst.
Yeah, to the point where your own physical body gets damaged.
Yeah, I know.
That part was pretty goddamn awesome.
I didn't actually think they come up with that. It actually, like, if you actually get hit, you get just like, I didn't think they have the technology for that.
Well,
Like,
it's not so much as technology as the sheer psychological trauma. You
yeah,
know,
that's true.
if you feel something, if even if your own body isn't getting damaged, your mind will force your body to experience it experience the pain with it,
Yeah, true.
because the mind can only take so much sensory detail. If
Mhm.
if it's overwhelmed by pain, then the mind will transfer that over to the body so that it doesn't have to bear the full brunt of it.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon your body will take damage. I think that's how in the future, if virtual realities are going to be a thing, if we feel too much pain, then that's what's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
you can already see forms of, like, if you think you're sick, then most likely, like, if you think you're sick to the point where you are sick, then maybe that's why you got sick, you know?
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's the same concept. Yeah, but that part was pretty epic.
Yeah, I was really good, I have to admit.
I only say that because there were profusive amounts of blood, or what would have been blood.
What would have been, but
Mhm.
it's pretty interesting, like the way they actually um made like the cuts. Because like when you get cut,
Yeah,
it's
when
like
you get hit, when you get injured, yeah, it kind of glows red for a
it goes
while
red, like
before. Yeah.
pixelized too.
Hmm.
Well, it wasn't like SAO was actually more like literally
Well, yeah,
literally more
SAO
stabbing.
was basic. Well, even then, SAO wasn't very literal. It was a matter of, well, if you lose all your HP, well, you're done.
Yeah, that's true. Overall, though, I mean, it was a pretty good anime, I have to admit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When we started talking about the pain gauges, I remembered reading some SAO doujins,
Hmm.
and yeah, maybe I should give you some of those, Chase. The
Why?
SAO H doujins.
What are those?
Doujins where there's not only pain gauges but also gauges for all other sensory details, if you know what I mean.
Oh, ow.
What do you
I
mean,
probably
ow?
don't want
They're H doujins, man.
them. Well,
Maybe I'll
you,
pass along some of them over to you. With virtual MMORPGs, RPG style animes, there's so much liberty you can take whenever you're making doujins like that.
yeah, I know.
Anyways, we won't talk about that. That's 18 and over. YouTube's not exactly meant for that. We go to RedTube for that kind of stuff. Anyways, so
Okay,
are we
okay.
done?
Are we
Or
done?
would you like to talk a little bit? Is there something you want to talk about more with SAO?
Um. Well, there's a lot to talk about for each episode. I mean, oh, the swords in SAO.
Like weapon design or
Yeah, the
what?
weapon design.
Uh huh. Talk
My
about it.
the dark repulsor sword has got to be my favorite. The design for it was really nice.
Dark repulsor. Let me go ahead and
You do not know what the dark repulsor is?
I do know. It's just I just need an actual
Visual image.
visual of it so I know what it looks like.
And if you think about it, it looks like a diamond sword in Minecraft. Yeah. I don't know why I compared it to that, but I just
Lol. Dark repulsor. Yeah, I can see how you can say it's a it looks like a diamond sword.
it was really sleek. I mean, when I first saw the blade part was like all blue and shiny, I was like, dang,
I don't
that's
know.
sick.
Usually the I like swords that don't have a straight edge. I like curved blades more.
Ah, yeah, yeah, I see what you
I
mean.
have a thing for curved blades. Straight blades are cool, but only to a certain extent.
So, like,
I feel
you're
like a
basically
straight
saying
blade
protagonist
only.
swords aren't as cool.
What?
You're saying protagonist is his own swords aren't cool.
Oh, my friends?
Yeah, because
No,
you had a video once, remember? You had the
his
swimming pool.
katanas were straight or were curved, dude.
They were?
His Nodachi and his katana were curved.
That's at like the edge though. I couldn't really see.
They were curved. So oh, they were slightly curved, and maybe they weren't really easy to see, but they were. But I can see where you're coming from. The design looks really good.
Yeah.
Cause most straight swords are usually they're the same width, but in the anime itself, the Dark Repulsor has that kind of arrowhead at the top.
Yeah.
It has that arrowhead. I think that's a nice touch for
I
a
love
sword
that part.
anyway.
Yeah.
And then the hilt is kind of like it's not your standard hilt. Let's just put it at that.
That's true. I agree.
But I don't know. The weapon design was interesting, but his Kirito swords didn't necessarily intrigue me too much.
I can see
But
your point of view. I mean, it's obviously not
what
the
I do give
best,
props
but
to, what I do give props to is the fact that Kirito was using two different swords.
hmm
That's pretty
yeah.
cool. What was his other sword? The Dark Repulsor, and what was the other one?
Elucidator.
Yeah, Elucidator. I'm searching this up on a Google image right now, and there's this meme picture of the guy from Futurama who's squinting, and the tag say the caption say, "Not sure if I like Dark Repulsor or Elucidator more."
I know, right?
They actually look both. They both look pretty similar, though, don't they?
Well, ish. You could say so.
I mean, of course, they have their distinct looks, but in the end, if you just look at them quickly, it's not like you can tell much of a difference. Because
Yeah.
one just looks black and the other one's diamond. I don't know. I just have a thing for curved blades, so straight edge swords aren't necessarily my thing.
That's fine. I can see where you're coming with that.
But I like how Asuna was wielding a rapier or
Oh, the
rapier.
rapier, yeah.
Yeah, rapier, however
That
you
was,
want to say it.
yeah. Her sword was pretty nice. Look, it was pretty nice. I think it fit her well.
Yeah, snappy like she is. Lol.
Wow, you would.
That has got to be the gayest life I've ever laughed in my entire life. Anyways,
Weird.
yeah, I just did that.
Okay.
But I just overall, I liked how the characters all had like either differing or they had unique weapons to them. Cause it makes it
Yeah, that's true. I
interesting.
like that.
Because most of the time, this is really cliche, but it still holds true, and I have no problem with it. But most of the time, a character's weapon kind of fits them well, and
hmm
it makes sense. It only makes sense to have a weapon that really symbolizes you very well. I think it's still a very cool notion. It hasn't
hmm
gone out of style for me just yet, and I don't
Yeah.
think it ever will. So that's
Well,
that about the weapon design. Any other memorable weapons that you can think of?
their choice of clothing, I don't know, maybe.
Choice of clothing. I actually did like Kirito's outfit.
His midnight cloak.
Yeah, his midnight
The
cloak
cloak of
was
midnight.
pretty good. It's pretty.
Yeah,
It
I love
reminded
that
me of
one.
a trench coat, but kind of like it wasn't that because I also have a thing for trench coats. Trench coats are my thing too. His
Okay.
wasn't a trench coat, but it was like a long caped kind of coat.
Yeah,
So I could agree with that. I could sit well with that.
yeah. It was
It
pretty
wasn't.
sleek.
It was the thing I liked about it most was that it wasn't regal, but it
Yeah,
definitely made him stand out. How's that? And he was wearing all black, which
yeah,
is what I
exactly.
use
Well,
is
he was
what
all
I
black.
almost always wear too.
Yeah.
That the fact that he wears all black, I usually wear lots of black too. So
Which I never see it wear
I
off.
don't know. It just looks like he is one of the only guys who actually looks modern to a certain extent.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you know what I mean. Like he wears pants, he wears shirt, he's got a jacket on, which turns out to be a coat. Everyone else is
Yeah.
kind of like has like um clothes that may signify like their surroundings and whatnot, but
Hmm.
Kirito's I think it kind of stands out in that respect. Kind of
Hmm.
keeps his own preferences with
I
it,
think.
even in SAO.
Yeah. What actually the costume I like would have to go to Asuna's. Well, the guild one. Because I don't know, it just looks really nice for some reason. It's a pretty elegant design.
Elegant
Uh,
and simple, maybe.
Yeah, and it matches her. I think it matches her well.
I can see where you're saying it matches her. I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
it did a
Because
pretty
she
it did
had
a
like
good job.
orange hair, I think. She has orange hair.
Hmm.
And I don't know. In my eyes, orange goes pretty well. I'm not a girl, god damn it. I don't know how well colors match together, but I have no problem with her outfit. I agree that it's pretty elegant, it's pretty simple. Like there's
Yeah.
no flashy patterns, there's no like nothing that really stands up, but if you just pay attention to it for long enough, you'll realize that it's pretty elegant.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like the kind of subtle elegance that makes the design of her outfit kind of stand out from
Stand out.
itself,
Yeah.
So in that sense, yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
I like how well I'm going off topic on the clothing and all. What was interesting to me is that they made the characters like because obviously it was like a love and romance and all that.
Hmm.
I love how they didn't make it so it was like just total like sex thing,
Yeah,
right? It
yeah,
was a sex thing for each other. They made it so like they were like a family and they were like a
yeah.
father
Hmm. Hmm.
and they obviously
Yeah. Hmm.
cared and all that crap. It's not like a total just one per they just two lovers and all that crap.
Yeah.
I like how they incorporated Yui in there just to make sure that it wasn't like
All
um
sex and fucking love making all day.
yeah, exactly.
I'm fucking sick in the head, man. Anyways, like the balance of action and like the love and the plot. I don't know. It could have been better, but I don't know. I don't know exactly where they could have improved. But like you said just now, they did well to keep the love aspect, especially the 18 and over aspects of it, more down to more reserved and not just out there like fucking Tula is.
Yeah, exactly. Which it's always arguable depending on like what position you want to say. Some people obviously some guys would be like, no, it's not enough relevant romance, but if you're mature to
Oh.
actually think,
Yeah, no, I don't know if romance, right? We want to see them fuck more.
it's a little too much.
What? What's not too much?
Yeah, man, you can never have too much.
You need more DACA, and you know what I mean by DACA.
Shh. Oh my god.
But yeah, I think that overall the balance of the story was good. It wasn't the best, but it was good.
Would you recommend it?
Would I recommend it? So here's the thing. Sword Art Online. yes, I would recommend it, but if you're going into this and you've never watched SAO before, and you're going into this with the mentality that it's going to be some epic storyline,
Oh yeah.
you're gonna be
Well,
disappointed.
actually, it did seem pretty epic to
It
me,
did seem
especially the
epic.
first scene, especially at the last part of the first episode. It made at when he was
It did
running
seem
and killing the
epic,
wolf.
just not in the sense that we would expect it to become.
True,
Like, we
but
didn't expect
nonetheless,
it to be cut off so short.
yeah. But the action was there, definitely.
Action was there, yeah, definitely. The action was there. Um, so yeah, I would recommend SAO, but and because it's the thing about it is that it is definitely unique in the sense is that the whole theme of you're trapped in a virtual online reality. I mean,
Yeah.
of course there has got to be other animes like it, like the whole you're stuck in a virtual reality, but I think this one is the one that kind of does it well, or at least better than the others.
Hmm.
To a certain extent that the everything, like, obviously there are things that they did very well, but overall they didn't really screw up like major big time.
Yeah. Hmm.
There are some
Absolutely.
animes
Yeah.
where it's just glaringly obvious that just like, oh my god, why, like, just
Yeah.
why. But this one there weren't much things like that. There weren't like, oh my god, why, just reboot. There
Yeah.
were no
Exactly.
moments like that. But it's not your most epic storyline ever. It doesn't contain your most epic action scenes. It's very general, but it does it better than, average.
Yeah. It does it
You
better
agree?
than other animes.
So yes, we would recommend, or not we, so because I don't know if you will, but
I
I
probably
recommend it.
would.
Yeah, I recommend it too. It's just that you need to just take it. You just need to kind of get yourself in the mindset of the actual characters themselves, and kind of
Hmm.
think along their terms, and then you'll enjoy it. Because
Yeah.
if you just watch it as a bystander, as just a simple anime viewer with your own preoccupations and expectations and influences from other animes, then you will not enjoy it at all. It's no groundbreaker. It's no like, it's not gonna blow your mind. It's just very good, just not in a spectacular, flamboyant way.
Hmm.
So
True.
that's why I recommend it. Just make sure you kind of get your mentality on the same level as the characters in the actual anime itself, and you should be just fine.
Hmm.
Well, Chase, any last words?
Um. Well, if I had to recommend it, yeah, sure, I'd recommend it.
Hmm.
I hopefully we didn't spoil too much.
Well, we already did.
Yeah,
We
technically
didn't
because of your
spoil the
intro.
major ones, but we did imply some of them.
Yeah.
But this is not meant to be. This is going to contain spoilers. Duh.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Actually, the thing about Sword Art Online was actually recommended to me by a friend.
Hmm.
At first, I was really hesitant because I haven't really watched anime in a while. But then when I actually got into it, I was like, dang. Maybe it's just because I haven't watched it in a while that I'm like, dang. But it's really debatable.
Mm. Well, I mean, if you're rewatching it again, you can try to get yourself into the mood. So,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, always there's going to be this honeymoon period of, oh, this seems really awesome. And then when you kind of distance yourself away from it for a little bit, then you're just going to be like, oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can get yourself back into the whole hype again by rewatching and trying to get yourself in the mood again. But hey,
Mhm.
that's that. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. If you have watched this far, I don't know why you would, because you're just listening to two guys talk about fucking Sword Art Online and an anime, whatever. But if you guys have watched all the way up to now, thank you very much for watching, and yeah.
Which took up a whole hour.
I know, right? No one's gonna watch an entire hour's worth of a fucking review on an anime,
Especially,
right?
especially when we're blabbing about like the same goddamn thing
over and over and over. But
over
it's
and
fun,
over.
dude. It's fun just ranting on about shit for
Yeah,
like
exactly.
hours on it. Anyways, once again, my name is Asian Psycho, aka Toast Number 98. This has been my friend Chase, and we are done. So thank you guys again very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Maybe by
See you
myself,
later.
maybe with other people. I don't know, but we'll be back soon. Thank you very much for watching, and you could bye. Say bye, Chase.
Bye. Have fun. Good luck. Whatever.
Awkward.